Welcome to online teaching. Today we will discuss chapter 11th, Rebels and the Raj. This is module first, okay? This is the chapter that we will be discussing. This is about the India's first revolution of independence. That is 1857 revolt. Okay. Now first thing that we will be discussing, pattern of the rebellion. It means how the rebellions, how the mutinies, how the revolutionaries, they formed, they planned and they implemented this revolt and how much they were successful. Okay. Now in this first thing is how the mutinies began. How the mutinies began. Here it means the revolutionaries, the revolt. Okay. It means the people, especially the sepoys, the common people, and the other community, that is Hindu and Muslim, both parted in it, and how they were able to succeed. Okay. Now, this is on 10th May 1857. This is the date when this revolt started. Okay. In afternoon, the sepoys from Meerut, a city in Uttar Pradesh, from Meerut cantonment. Cantonment, it means where these sepoys, these soldiers or the army stays there for some period or for a permanent settlement also. Now, what happened? These people moved towards Delhi because Delhi was the center point. The Britishers and even the earlier Mughals that were also ruling from Delhi. Okay. Now they move towards Delhi, and whatsoever came in there between, they were removed. So what happened? The mutineers killed a number of Britishers, especially the white people. The people were agitating against the Britishers. That may be their property, the bungalows, the government offices, post houses, telegraphs, and even whatsoever come in their way, that were removed. And even some of the plundered, ransacked was there. They were looted. The number of peoples were killed. And most important was capturing of ammunition. It means where the weapons, the explosive materials are there, and the bell of arms. It means a storehouse where the weapons are put. The most important was the weapons and these explosive materials, because that will help. Because they were not the permanent sepoys, they were not the military that they were having weapons. They were the common people, and some sepoys were there. Otherwise, maximum the farmers, laborers, peasants, and other communities were there. They were a middle class and lower class. They were not having enough resources in the form of weapons. So they looted, they plundered the ammunition as well as the bell of the arms. Their objective was to remove these Britishers, and in somehow they were able to remove Britishers from Delhi. So we can say that something comes in the hands of these mutinies, that is Delhi. This was the first thing that came into their hands. Okay. Now these revolutionaries, these sipahis, these people, they moved to Delhi and they reached where? Red Fort. They reached Red Fort. You know that was built by Shah Jahan, and it was the native place or Bahadur Shah Zafar that was living there. Okay. What happened on 11th May? The sepoys, the common people reached to Bahadur Shah. To Bahadur Shah Zafar, you may say Bahadur Shah Zafar or Bahadur Shah II, and it was the time of Ramzan. He took early bath, have the prayers, have the food, and as he finished up these things, he heard some of the, you may say, murmuring or some of the things that were on the gate. He came to the gate. He saw that some people that were gathered there, and they told that the cartridges that are used in the bullets, that are the mix of cow and pig meat, so they are damaging our religion. So we have killed a lot of Britishers, and even now we have come here. Now you guide us, you gave us the blessings to succeed this revolution. So we can say Bahadur Shah became the you may say leader of these mutinies. And what happened in Lucknow, Awadh, Jhansi, Bareilly? These are some of the places where this revolt also started. On 11th and 12th May, there were some of the murmuring or some of the things that were going on. Some of the movement were going on. So what happened? And in Lucknow, Awadh and Jhansi, these things were there. And maximum, the infantry, the cavalry, all moved towards Delhi. It means even the soldiers that moved there. Okay. Now there was afraid in the minds, in the hearts of Britishers, because maximum of the Britishers were killed. So there was troublesome. The Britishers were having fear. Now they were moving here and there to protect, to save themselves and their family members. Because these mutinees, these sepoys, these revolutionaries, they were not sparing anybody. They were killing maximum people because they were fed up. They had exploited, and this was the first revolution that we are having. We have the evidences of the first revolution, that is India's first revolution of independence. Okay. Now, next thing, these leaders like that Bahadur Shah Zafar, Kunwar Singh, and even Rani Lakshmi Bai, Tata Tope, these were few of the leaders. Okay, now what happened? Second thing that we will be discussing, lines of communication. Now, how these messages forwarded. Okay, now what happened? This messages was circulated by the sound of gun, first thing, or by the sound of bugle. It means some of the, you may say, evidences, some of the signs and symbols were used to forward this message. So that was the lines of the communication. It means the messages were circulated forward in the form of sound, and that shows that some planning was done. It was not by chance, some planning, organization, and some of groups that were leading this, that were forwarding this. Okay. Now what happened? The 7th Battalion forbade to use cartridges and forwarded the message to 47th and 48th Infantry also. It means because telephone line were cut by the Britishers in Delhi. So that was only by the infantry or by the cavalry that the messages were circulated. The horse riders were there. These were the persons that were circulating the message, and this was the reason some planning was done. Especially from Meerut, Delhi, Lucknow, Jhansi, Awadh, Bareilly. These were few of the even Bihar, Jagdishpur area. So these means some planning was done, and this was the reason that it was some successful. Otherwise, there were very less chances because no weapons were there, no explosive materials were there. But even then, somehow the Indian mutineers or the sepoys were able to have some fear in the minds of the Britishers. Okay. Now what happened? The Captain Hearsay was the General of Military in Awadh. Okay. Now, what happened? The mutineers or the revolutionaries said that kill captain or put him in the prison. Kill Captain Hearsay or put him in the prison. That was 41th Battalion. Okay. But the mutineers said this, but the sepoys, the army refused. That we will not do such thing. It is not that some of the Britishers were also saved by the Indian mutineers or even some of the common people who were good in the eyes of the Indians. So Captain Hearsay was also such instant. Now what happened? Now how it is to be done? So a panchayat was called, and every panchayat that was in Kanpur or in other areas that were in the late night, and the decision was passed that it should not be done such things. He is to be saved. Now it means these were some of the messages, these were the lines of the communication that were moving forward, because the decisions were made in the night. The panchayats were called, and the common people, the mutineers, the sepoys that gathered there, and they took the decision. So this was the planning, and even some of the historians, they also told that such panchayats were also found in other areas of the country.